Boxing News 24. Schedule Press News. Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo to meet for 2 press conferences next week in New York and Los Angeles. Image: Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo to meet for 2 press conferences next week in New York and Los Angeles. August 10, 2023. L11 comments by Dan Ambrose. Undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez and challenger Jermell Charlo will meet next week for 2 press conferences next week in New York on August 15 and Los Angeles on August 16 to promote their September 30 fight on Showtime PPV at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Caleb Plant has no doubt he can beat Canelo Alvarez. Canelo and Jermell are getting off to an early start marketing their fight, hoping to pump up the PPV numbers for their undisputed versus undisputed fight. As we saw with the Gervonta Davis vs Ryan Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. vs Terence Crawford mega fight, it helps to begin promoting as early as possible to create interest. Jermell is good at building excitement for his fights when he's facing someone with something to say, like Tony Harrison. But he won't get much help from Canelo or his non-English speaking trainer Eddie Reynoso. For all intents and purposes, they are a couple of wallflowers, utterly useless in marketing a fight. News: Canelo Alvarez vs Jermell Charlo at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on September 30. Canelo needs a hype man, like the guy that works with Crawford and the dude that follows Devin Haney around. Those guys are valuable because they can help a mute fighter who cannot reach out to mainstream fans. With the Canelo vs Charlo fight, they've got a more demanding job because the Mexican star tends to have very little to say about promoting his fights. Canelo's loyal fans don't seem to mind. But he could do much better if he were a little more actively engaged in the process rather than letting his opponents or their trainers and promoters do all the hard work. Next week's press conferences. August 15th, on Tuesday at the Palladium Times Square in New York at 1 p.m. ET. August 16th at the Beverly Hilton in Los Angeles. Wednesday, August 16th, in Los Angeles, the Beverly Hilton at the Wilshire Garden at 11:30 a.m. PT. Canelo could start to show his age against Jermell. Younger, more determined to prove that Canelo's time has been great, but it's up. I believe that Canelo will have to get him out of there early, said Bernard Hopkins to Fifth Eye about his belief that Jermell Charlo will be a big threat against Canelo Alvarez the longer their fight goes on September 30.